Hey yo, what's good? Not every fighter has to be an all-time great. Not every fighter has to be Hall of Fame worthy. Not every fighter has to be number one pound for pound, stacking millions of dollars, being a pay-per-view star to be a very good, borderline great fighter. And not And just because this fighter isn't a pound for pound king or a legend or a bona fide all time great or even one of the best in the decade does not make this fighter a bum. The fighter I want to talk about today, and I hope I could make this a series, which I want to pay tribute to underrated fighters or fighters that don't get enough respect, and they're either underappreciated or undermined by fans today. Fighters like my subject today, Zab Judah, who's very underappreciated, and I've seen throughout many comment sections these fans and these are some of these fans. They're so obnoxious. They're so rude, and what I notice is that a lot of those fans, they're not making videos. They're not putting in work. They're not doing the research. They're not doing the knowledge. Know what I'm saying? But yeah, a lot of these fans, they call fighters like Zab Judah and other good fighters that I hope I could pay tribute to in the future. I think my next tribute or in this line of series that I want to start is one of my favorite fighters is Ricardo Mayorga, but that's for the next time. One of my all-time favorite fighters, actually. But I want to start with the Zab Judah, who recently has been in the news in the boxing media for sparring Floyd Mayweather. Whether he got beat up or he beat up Mayweather, I don't want to discuss. I don't believe he beat up Mayweather or knocked him out cold at all. I do not believe that at all. But regardless, there's a reason Floyd Mayweather chose Zab Judah to do sparring for Manny Pacquiao. One, he's a southpaw. One, he's very fast. Three, two, three, he's very talented and he's a very good fighter and he punches hard. If he wasn't a good fighter, he wouldn't have chosen him to mimic a great fighter like a Manny Pacquiao. So to all these fans calling him Zab Judah a bum and all this crap, I'll show you a couple of his stats and a couple of people that he beat. He's a former 5-time world champion in 2 weight classes. This is just from taking a quick search in BoxRec and Wikipedia, a couple hours for me, and checking out a couple of his fights on YouTube. So he's a 5-time world champion, 2 weight classes, 140 and 147. He is a former undisputed welterweight champion. And he's fought the best in his times. He's fought Mickey Ward. He fought Junior Witter, who was undefeated. That a lot of you guys want to give credit to Danny Garcia and Timothy Bradley for beating him. Well, Judah beat him when he was undefeated. He fought Kasazu, which we all know made him do the chicken dance. Then Marcus Corley before he became a gatekeeper. He fought Corey Spinks when he was in his prime. He lost a razor thin decision, and then in the rematch he knocked him out. He fought Carlos Boldemir, who beat him in the upset of the year, I believe, on Ring Magazine. He fought Floyd Mayweather, who he gave fits. He also gave fits to Miguel Cotto. He fought Joshua Clottey. He handed Lucas Matisse, a bona fide monster, his first defeat. Whether you want to argue against it or not, he beat him. He fought Amir Khan. He fought Vernon Paris, who was undefeated. Danny Garcia, and he laid an egg against Paulie Malignaggi. So he's fighting a list of who's who within his time, and he's also made some money. I have a list that I've done I did a bit of research on Wikipedia and other websites, whether you choose to believe this or not. He made $1 million against Costa Zoo, $1 million against Cotto, and $1 million against Mayweather. That's just the guarantee. I think in a couple of these fights, he even got a pay-per-view percentage as well. He got $500,000 to fight to lay an egg against Khan, and $600,000 to lay an egg against Paulie Malignaggi. And the Garcia fight, who he gave fits, that's the most damage I've seen Garcia look after a fight. That little cut in the middle was pretty nasty. I know it's from a headbutt, but still, that was the worst I've seen Garcia look after a fight, just as facially. He made $300,000 from that fight. So, I guess the point of this video and the point of the new series that I want to make is that just like I said in the beginning, just because these fighters aren't extremely well known within mainstream fans and aren't making millions of dollars, which he did. He made $1 million in 3 occasions, which were in big fights. Just because they're not bona fide stars does not make them bums. Zab Judah is not a bum. He fought one of the best fighters in his generations. He also beat some very good fighters like Corey Spinks. So and Lucas Matisse, he's a five-time world champion in 2 weight classes. So this man is not a bum. You could say he doesn't have heart. He quit in a few occasions, and he did. He quit against Khan. Used a low blow excuse. He lost it again. He lost it against Mayweather. He found a way out against Cotto too. That fight was funny, man. He was like, "Oh man, ref, he punched me in the dick." That was funny. I mean, he's a bit mentally unstable at times, throwing the stool in the Costa Zoo fight. But all that, regardless of all that, this man has had a hell of a career. When Broner lost, there was a bunch of these comments that I saw. Oh, he's another Zab Judah. And I took offense to that because Zab Judah has had a hell of a career. Broner would be lucky. He'd be lucky if he ends up like a Zab Judah, still getting big fights at his age with over 50 fights, man. Well, how old is this guy? Shit, I can't find it. 77. He's about 30. Damn, 38, 37. Still getting fights at in his mid 30s. And still making good paydays, man. I tell people, I would have loved to have Zab Judah's career. People starting out as amateurs or ending up being journeymen, making $5,000, $10,000 if they're lucky, man. If they're lucky. A lot of these fans don't understand that. Most fighters don't get good paydays, man. Most fighters barely get enough, if not have to take 1 or 2 other jobs just to live. Calling Zab Judah a bum, man, that's just disrespectful. He's had a hell of a career, and Adrian Broner or Andre Berto will be lucky if they end up having a career of a Zab Judah, who's not a Hall of Famer by any means, who's not an all-time great by any means. He laid an egg in most of his fights, was mentally unstable, went crazy a few times, like against Mayweather and Costa Zoo afterwards, but has still had a hell of a career. That most boxers alive, I bet you, most people that box professionally alive today would love to trade careers with Zab Judah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and what do you think about me starting off this new series of paying homage or tribute to these underappreciated fighters? And who do you think is underappreciated? Not just in this time, but maybe a time. Yeah, not just today, but maybe fighters in the past. Like I was thinking of a Burt Cooper who gave Michael Moore hell, or Michael Oaks, I think Dokes, who gave Holyfield hell in his early welterweight run. Fighters that are just underappreciated just because they're not all-time greats and they took a lot of punishment. John Mugabe is another one. Fighters like that, like a Zab Judah, like a Ricardo Mayorga, that are just underappreciated, underrated, and are called bums. Are called bums by many people in these comment sections. All right, comment your thoughts below, please, and tell me your thoughts. Rate, subscribe. All right, peace.